Hello, my friends. It's me, Dr. Missy Hillock, and I am here with an energetic update for the week of April 26th through May 2nd, 2026, which also includes my birthday. It's my birthday week. My birthday is May 1st. Yes, I am a Taurus. That's my sun sign, and we are in Taurus season. So we've moved out of the Aries energy and now into the grounded Taurus energy, which I think we can all welcome because I don't know about you, but this Aries season has been a lot of fire energy. And the last week or two of my life in particular has been filled with a lot of ups and downs, a lot of twists and turns, a lot of heavy energy, as well as a lot of beauty and moments of deep connection. And so, if you're going through a phase where you're experiencing the highs and lows of your very own life, again, just know that I'm right there with you. I've noticed a lot of similar themes right now. There's a lot of heavy themes, a lot of sickness, people losing their lives, losing loved ones, losing pets, major life moments have been happening. And I don't know about you, but I tend to, when I keep my eyes and my ears open and I listen to people and I observe, I notice that we often go through phases where many people are kind of experiencing the same thing. So it's been a heavy time. And the deck that I used to do our reading for this week, because I was really looking for a really deep message, something to really carry us through this week, knowing that last week was heavy for a lot of folks. And so I went and I pulled three cards from one deck. The Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. If you've heard me talk about this deck, you know this was the very first Oracle deck I ever purchased. And I got really intimate with this deck early on. So I still consider it kind of my sacred place to go when I really need the answers. And so I pulled three cards and they are really, I feel like spot on for where we are right now in our individual lives, but also maybe what's going on within the collective. And they tell a story of kind of where we're heading, right? So I want to go ahead and start sharing. So the first card I drew, which you can see is in the inverse position, so that means it came out of the deck upside down, is card number 49, the Observer. And I'll show it to you upright so you can see the imagery. It's got the handsome little fox here who's gazing up at the moon. He's kind of perched on an egg, looking up at the moon and stars. And again, the card message is Observer. Now, if this card were pulled upright, it would have a different meaning than being pulled in the inverse. When it's pulled in the inverse, this indicates a protection message. And sometimes it means kind of the opposite message of what the card would innately mean without being in the inverse. So this actually means that it's a call for us to be a better observer of what's going on around us, but also knowing that we've been having a hard time doing that. We've maybe been more limited in having the blinders on or being so close to a situation, being so in it that it's hard for us to see outside of just what's right in front of our face. And so this is really a call for a perspective change, to take a bit of a step back, to, I don't like to say emotionally detach, but allow ourselves to step back enough mentally and emotionally and maybe physically so that we can see a little bit more without the bias and the very limited angle at which we've been approaching this. And so don't worry when you hear this card, but it does mean perhaps some of what's happening right now could be supported by taking a step back. And maybe that means also asking someone else to come into the situation, asking for some guidance, maybe getting some expertise, some advice on a situation from someone who has a broader perspective, someone who has more knowledge, more information, who's less intimately connected to what's going on. That's really what this card is calling for. The second message, I think also really, again, there's quite the theme going on with this reading this week. It is card number 12, a change in the wind. And you can see it's got the beautiful zebra there, which, you know, the expression, a zebra doesn't change its stripes. But also what's happening there, there's wind blowing. There's on the zebra's back, it's got this beautiful kind of gazebo, and yet everything is being blown from it. Things are being scattered. And it's almost like the stripes are starting to get blown away as well. So this is a card that is saying change is coming. And for a lot of us, that immediately makes our haunches go up because most of us don't like change or don't prefer change, because change often means new, but also may mean make us feel out of control. When we get comfortable and even when we get complacent in a situation, even if it's not ideal, sometimes we prefer that over the unknown of change, or that change requires us to do something differently, think something differently, change a pattern. And that requires effort, that requires sometimes some strength and some courage. And yes, that's actually what's being called for this week, knowing that changes are happening, whether we want them to or not. And the more we resist them, the more we may just be sacrificing our energy by resisting what is inevitable, but also knowing that this change, while it may feel uncomfortable, it may feel scary, it may also feel not preferred, it very much is supportive of us. And especially as we look at that observer card in the inverse, this is saying, look, right now the situation feels crazy. It feels dense. It feels like you're out of control. What we actually need is a change to come on here. When we can change the perspective, get some guidance, some insight, get some help and support, this change, while it's going to feel maybe uncomfortable, is so needed to get us across the finish line. And then the last card, which I love receiving as the third card because it's really supportive here to this message and what we're going through, is card number 46, regeneration. When I look at this card, I see, of course, a scorched earth, right? Something that's literally been burned to the ground. It looks like still embers burning on the scorched earth, but then also something that is certainly growing from that scorched earth. And to me, if you can notice the imagery, it's almost like a person. It's kind of a body, maybe like a dancer who's standing a certain way. It's this beautiful growth from what died, what decayed, what was washed away or burned down, in order for something new to come from it, something beautiful to come from it. And so as we look at, again, what I've already shared here, this is saying that, well, we're in this situation that feels really dense and we might feel overwhelmed and confused and kind of stuck. When we are able to shift perspective and we're able to bring in some other eyes and some other voices and some other people to help see the situation for what it is, that initiates some change, some much needed change. This will actually lead to the rebirth, to the regeneration, to the newness that's to come from this situation that has been really complicated or heavy or stuck or left us, in some state of not feeling aligned or healthy or moving forward. This is the path to that. So I love this reading for me personally, for you, for all of us who are going through some really tough and deeply personal things. So I hope that this message supports you this week. And if you don't ever want to miss one of these messages, you can certainly follow my YouTube channel here, as I will post these each Sunday. I'll also have on Wednesdays, I have a beautiful supportive message that goes out via email. If you'd like to receive those, you can sign up for my mailing list in the information here below the video. I would love to support you more. I hope you, whatever you're going through, I hope you remember when times get tough, to take a few moments to close your eyes, to put your hands on your heart, to take a few deep breaths, to give yourself the time to just be with it. Let the emotions flow if they need to. Let the body kind of just go limp if it needs to. Take the time you need to connect back into your heart, into your source, into the place where we all came from, where we're all going back to. the place of pure bliss and perfection and oneness and love, that no matter how hard we try down here in this human body to mess that up or convince ourselves otherwise, that's where we're all headed when this is done. And that's where we'll come back into another body and we'll do it all again. And sometimes that may be the last thing I can cling to when things are really, really hard. So I hope that that supports you. And I look forward to seeing you next time. And I hope you have a beautiful week. Bye for now, friends.